ISD Cool group in Canvas is one avenue you can use to really take ownership of your own professional learning. In the T-TEST rubric for professional practices and responsibilities, we have a whole dimension about goal setting. Now, to really move from being teacher-centered in our goal setting to being student-centered, it's all about us as educators consistently setting, modifying, and meeting our short and long-term professional goals based on self-assessment, reflection, feedback, research, and our analysis of student learning. While there are many, many ways that you will engage in such tasks, your Cool group gives you an environment to take ownership over your own self-assessment, research, and collaborating with others to get feedback about your practice. We are also making the move from teacher-centered professional learning to student-centered professional learning. Your Cool group will empower you to have another venue for leading your colleagues collaboratively in and beyond your school to identify those professional development needs and to have self-reflection. With your Cool group, you can break out of your campus-based collaborations and collaborate with more people within our district. These will help you seek resources and collaboratively foster knowledge and skills. And it will also help in developing and fulfilling improvement plans through these professional learning communities that you take a part in. And again, empowering you to lead your own learning and the learning of your peers and community. That brings us to the school community involvement dimension of our T-TEST rubrics. Your Cool group will help give you a way to initiate collaborative efforts that enhance student learning and growth. While we have many ways to achieve these items in the rubric, our Cool groups will be one resource you can use to really take ownership of your learning and to have more opportunities for leading learning for yourself and for your peers. Let's take a quick look at your Cool group in Canvas. Each group is aligned to the learning platform categories selected in the goal setting forms at the beginning of the year. You will always see a current challenge that will direct you through some learning tasks. But you will also always have an area for you to self-direct and make your own learning happen. Let's look at our first challenge. In this challenge, you'll see the video you're watching right now will be posted here, and it will also take you to our first kind of learning task, which is a discussion. In this discussion, you're asked, what is your goal for professional learning and practice this year? Why did you select it? How does it connect to the learning platform, and what impact do you think this will have on your students? This will be a spot for everyone in this group to share and make some connections with one another. Remember, the goal is to collaborate with others who are working toward a similar goal as you. So please read your peers' posts, reply, and make your own learning from the conversation that will unfold. You can also visit the discussion board anytime to participate in current discussions or even start a new discussion topic all your own. You can visit the T-TEST resources page to find our local Birdville ISD T-TEST website and all of our resources, as well as TEA's Teach for Texas portal that houses several great resources for helping deepening our learning around the rubric. Look this year for more challenges that will direct you to some of those TEA resources. On the Canvas resources page is posted the Canvas student guide, so if you ever have questions about how to use Canvas, it'll be a great place to go. I think you'll find that Canvas is primarily just very intuitive and easy to use, but if you do have questions, you'll have a place to go find your answers. Finally, the self-directed learning page is what will help guide you through this whole idea of making your own learning happen. As part of the T-TEST pilot, you will also be instrumental in a self-directed learning pilot in Birdville ISD. In response to T-TEST, which calls for innovative and responsive professional learning that truly meets the needs of each and every educator, we kind of look at the same challenge that we face in the classroom today. So instead of feeling like the central office needs to be the sole distributor of all teacher knowledge, the self-directed learning process will empower you to self-direct your own learning in more meaningful, ongoing types of ways. And you may receive CPE credit for your own self-directed learning by following a process of reflection. This process really takes us through a continuous improvement kind of action research cycle where you will plan a learning goal. You will engage in that learning. You'll actually do the learning. And this is where the world is just full of possibilities. You may do research on the internet. It may be Twitter and participating in Twitter chats or reading certain articles or books. It could even be collaborating with your brilliant peers around you. You can self-direct your learning. That's the key. So when you submit for credit, you'll describe that learning path that you took. Most importantly, and what will really set this apart from your traditional face-to-face professional learning, is the ability for you to put that learning into practice in your real job setting. And then when you submit for credit, you'll describe what it is that you did to apply that learning. For example, if you wanted to seek out tips and strategies for using small group instruction in a workshop model setting, you would actually apply that then in your classroom with your students. You'd then study the impact of that learning that you applied in your classroom. How did it go? What impact did it have on your students? What impact did it have on you as an educator? Then you'll be ready to act and make some decisions about your next actions. So based on this learning that you've set out and then applied it in your classroom, and then you've studied how it went, what do you think you'll do next? How will you continue to deepen your learning or apply it in your classroom? Do you need to possibly abandon this because you found it to be unsuccessful? Or maybe you continue to apply and refine your practice around this learning. Finally, and this is really where, no matter what kind of learning path you set out on, the stopping for step 6 to really reflect upon your learning and its impact and the next actions you will take. That is where some of the strongest professional learning can happen. You'll think through, how has this self-directed learning experience impacted you? How has this process of self-directed learning hindered or helped your own learning? What is the relationship between your learning and the learning of your students? And how can you share this learning with your peers? There are several different ways you can submit for credit. You can respond to our 6 steps and submit those with an uploaded file. You can type it right into the text entry field, or you could even share a Google Doc, which is integrated into Canvas. That will get 1 CPE for this self-reflective, self-directed learning process that you undergo. Now, to help increase your learning and the learning of your peers in our entire district, you can turn your learning around for others to earn 3 times the continuing professional education credits. This will be a chance for you to help others learn from your own experiences, and it will help us build a repository of resources from the most credible people of all, the teachers who are really applying this learning in their own classrooms. So you can create a product to teach this topic to others so that they can engage in their own self-directed learning with help from you. So for example, if you were researching using small groups in a workshop setting, you could then create a Web 2.0 product, perhaps a s'more flyer, to help teach others. And since you applied it in your classroom, you have major credibility, so you're encouraged to include your personal experiences and examples. Back on the COOL homepage, you'll see that our major district hashtags, BISDGPS and BISDDLP, are embedded so that you can always see what's the latest and greatest from the Twitterverse. And you can even jump right into a post by clicking on it, and it'll take you to Twitter, really integrating all the great learning and sharing that's going on across our district. Finally, just a little bit of navigation. Remember, you will continue to be fed more and more resources as the year goes on. On the left side of your COOL group, you'll see your home page. You can look at any assignments that are out there. Right now, the only assignment is a spot for you to submit your self-directed learning when and if you choose to do so. You can go straight to the discussions. And remember, right now we have one discussion that has been started, but you can click to start a new discussion. You'll be able to click to see what people are a part of the group that you're in, and you can make contact with those people. You can get access to any files within the course, and again, as the year goes on, those of you out there who are really self-directed your learning and using this course, all of these resources will build and build and build. Grades don't apply yet, but there may be a point in this year where we start having some tasks that can earn some points that will ultimately be reflected on your workshop portfolio. You can go straight to any modules. So right now we have our challenge as a module and our self-directed learning as a module. There will be opportunities throughout this year to participate in web conferences and collaborations. These features are not active at the moment, but as the time comes about, you'll get notification and opportunities to join in. And finally, there's an open chat room that at any point you could decide to meet up with some of your peers in this chat room and have a real-time conversation. So that is a basic overview of your Birdville ISD Cool group. We're interested in being creators of our own learning, and I hope you enjoy this course. We look for your feedback as you will help shape what professional learning in Canvas can look like for our whole district, and also what self-directed learning can mean for Birdville ISD.